And this is the broadcast start.
All right. Hi, this is Andrea Porter here with the Entertainment Entrepreneurs Group, and I've got Star Giovanni with me. And we're going to kind of follow up to our one-on-one last week, and we're probably going to talk about our weekly focus, but I'm going to let him do most of the talking. How you doing today, Star?
I'm doing good. We had a lazy day in the studio yesterday. We ended up trying to work like really, really late, and nothing happened. So everybody just went to sleep. So I'm a little groggy. I just woke up, but everything's great. Everything's excellent. I'm having fun.
Super, super. I know how the schedule can get messed up for us entertainment entrepreneurs, right? So,
Yeah.
do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the studio, or do you want to talk about your sponsorship offer that I know came in this week?
Oh man, the sponsorship offer is actually a really interesting story because they approached me last year with like a similar offer, but they said it was a deadline on the offer, and I'm like something was off. Like if you're offering me an opportunity, like why would you put a deadline on the opportunity? So like I just was like something doesn't feel right. I don't even know how you guys got my information, but then I realized that I had just submitted some content to one of their partners in California, and that's how they got my content. So it was like, yeah, we want to sponsor you, but you gotta react fast because it's a deadline on the offer and all of that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna play along for a little while, but if y'all don't give me what I need, I ain't gonna take the deal. So I didn't take the deal a year ago, and they tried it again this year, but I was like, look, I'm going to talk to my manager, but before we agree to anything, we're going to have to negotiate. And that deadline shit went right out the window. It was like, all right, yeah, just talk to us when you get ready. So
You
that's,
presented yourself as a professional. You considered the offer and you thought about it. You made some good sense there. Why? Where did they get my information? That's always a great thing to ask because we are all very aware of phishing scams on the internet, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so you were very smart. So how is that proceeding right now? Oh, I want to mention something else I heard you say that was just brilliant. You were talking to me, and I don't know if it came across in the group. You said, at the time, I didn't think I had anything to offer them. So can you talk about that just a minute?
At the time, I didn't know like the nature of the deal that they wanted to work out, but then I realized like if you have a product, one of the oldest rules in business is if you have a product that's great, you find somebody pretty to sell it for you. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but you know, but but that was the common thread that tied their brand to me. They wanted to leverage my talent and charisma to build a stronger following for their brand. But at the time, they wasn't offering enough in return. So I just left the deal alone. But now they're reaching out to me again. So I got a good feeling that I'm gonna get everything that I need out of them this time. So we're gonna go
Good, good.
negotiations. Me and my think tank, we're coming together with a strategy to take care of any type of loose ends that they might try, or we just hip to everything. I've been doing music business for mostly my whole life, so they can't pull one on me.
I think that's something that we all have in common here is we've all got plenty of experience and we've certainly got our feet wet in a lot of different areas. So I hope that you will keep us up to date on the development of that sponsorship deal, and we're all going to think some good thoughts and vibes for you on that. So how goes everything else? Talk about what you're doing in the studio right now. I've got you live and online. We've got a chance to connect. I know that you've got another job coming up, so that might change your schedule in the future. So tell us about your project and what you're going to do with that throughout the year.
The project is gonna be called Love Only Comes Once, or the Local Project for short, which is gonna be the album. The slated release date was Valentine's Day, but then I got some information about Valentine's Day. That's actually the day of it's the second day of All-Star Weekend, which is the same night as the dunk contest, the three-point shootout. So that would be a terrible time to put out anything online. So I'm gonna push it back some, and I'm gonna have to rethink the release date. I just thought love only comes once. Valentine's Day, it's perfect. But then something happens, and it's like, oh man, ain't nobody gonna be looking for it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just want everybody to kind of like be on when I put it on there. I don't want people watching basketball when I put something out because nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah, now, I'm glad you thought through that too. That's very good. And you know your genre, and you know that they're probably a large percentage that are basketball fans. See, I wouldn't have thought about that. With you, I would have thought love, Valentine's Day, great job. So good, kudos to you for thinking all the way through that. That's good.
Thank you.
All right, now what are you going to do? So we're talking about sponsorships and this week, and I'm going to kind of keep it on track with that. You got this new album coming out, and so you know you're going to push it back. Do you know when you're going to push it back to? I mean, have you set your new target date?
I haven't set a new target date as of yet. I'm still actually writing the album. I got like 5 records left to write, and I'm probably gonna go into the mixing and mastering phase a little longer so I can clean up the sound and everything. And it should be out by either mid or the end of February.
Well, you'll have your master complete at that point. Are you going to release it at the end of February, or have you moved your target date back?
I'm looking to release it by the end of February, but if push comes to shove, I'll just push it back as far as it needs to go. I ain't gonna rush anything because
Yeah, my
nobody.
recommendation to you would be to make sure you have at least 3 months to promote an album. Um, that's really the best advice I can give you is if you're going to push the date back, make sure it's far enough back that you can get through maybe one of our whole cycles with that album in the forefront of your mind. Like we're doing sponsorship, you've got a week. Could you put it in a pitch letter for some local sponsorship for your CD party to just kind of cover some expenses there? I'd really have to brainstorm with you on that. But are there any sponsors for your album? Are you covering all the expenses out of pocket? Do you have a label that you're working with?
We cover all the expenses out of our pocket. We do all of our own mixing and mastering. I run the studio, so we really don't lose any money when we do our own work. We got our own photographers. I do all of that videography. I do the cinematography. We do everything ourselves. We're a completely independent entity. We don't need to outsource any funds to anybody for anything because we can do it all ourselves, and it's all a really good outcome when we do it. So we just
Well,
do it
that's
that way.
great.
Our money.
All right, that's great. I like that you're that independent. Not many people are. We do run our artist stuff that way, so I really understand that. But as far as sponsorships go, some people, I'm not saying that you want to do this, but some people might consider getting a sponsorship for the album printing if they're going to make press physical copies. I know a lot of people are going to digital releases only these days, but we still work in a market where people want to hold a CD. And so the physical printing costs money, and if you can get a sponsor to cover that for a small portion on the back label, of logo placement, why not get someone else to cover your printing expenses? So someone else might want to think about that. Maybe you do too. Just trying to keep our thoughts in line so everybody can see how the system works. Everything this week is going to be kind of colored through a sponsorship filter. Like, last week was last week's focus, and next week will be next week's focus. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, is there anything else I can do for you today? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Um, as far as sponsorships,
Or any
I'm
question?
not really.
Open it up now. This
Oh, we
is.
gonna open it up now?
Pardon?
I said, oh, we can open it up now.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, we've covered it enough. Let's. What's really on your mind? This is about you.
I'm really trying to figure out how I can build some tour supports somewhere. I mean, I'm building some tour supports in LA now, but I like to have some in Texas. Honestly, I like to have you as a tour support. That would be awesome.
Okay. Well, when you say me as a tour support, what does that mean to you? What would you want to receive in tour support? Clarify that for me.
Um, Venue scouting, uh, mainly venue scouting, because once we get the venue and I can talk to the people who run the venue and we organize a trip down there, I can take care of everything else once I get on stage.
Okay. So let me be your tour support as being part of this group. This is what I'm trying to get across is this is what the whole subscription group service is about. I'm going to give you some hints today. You know how last time we gave you that artist data hint and you said that was a big help?
Yeah.
Okay.
It helped a lot.
I'm going to give you some other ideas and tools about how to do this on your own. And when I say on your own, don't freak out like you got to do everything. Remember, one of our weeks is a team building week. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to put this all, you're your own entity, you're your own business. It's my idea to give you some tools to be more effective and more efficient inside of that. So venue scouting, maybe you've probably heard of this Reverb Nation online. Now, I'm not a fan. I'm going to be real honest with you. I was real honest with them. I'm not a fan, but I have to give them credit. They do have some really cool tools in there that will help you search geographically and genre-wise for venues. And then you can get a specific list. You know how we have an 80-20 breakdown, or there's going to be 20% of those that are really good for you, okay? And so you could really take you could separate the wheat from the chaff, and you can send specific tour pitches or just gauge some interest emails to venues out there. So this is something that's very doable for you. It just seems scary right now because you don't really, you're sitting in Baltimore, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're sitting in Baltimore and you want to go to the West Coast. That seems like it's so far away, but really it's just a plane ride.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend you just take a look at. And there's other resources online. They're not coming to me right off the top of my head, but that's why I have gobs of notes and I'm putting all this in a book for you. So I will send you some other stuff and tag it in this video. So you can do some geographic gig searching. There's some festival lists out there that's all kind of free. There's loads of databases that will give you venue information, but you need to dig a little bit more than that to really target who's going to be the most receptive to you, your genre. Do you have a following in the area? That's something you're going to have to do before you get there. You're going to have to make sure that people know who you are before you get there, which is going to be a lot of online and social media work ahead of time for you. So this is going to be something you're going to plan way out. Like if you want to tour on the West Coast and you've never been there before, I wouldn't consider going any sooner than at least a year away because you've got a lot of work to do in a year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Yeah, it makes sense. No,
All
I
right.
don't know. I like challenges. This is fun for me.
Good, good. See, you've got the passion for it. That's wonderful. So I think you can, and let me be your tour support. This is part of our WhatsApp group, and I know you're not a fan of that app, but if you ever want to try it out, just let me know and I'll add you. But when you have questions like, okay, I'm sitting at my computer right now, and I don't know where to look for venues. I don't know where I need to find venues in my genre. Someone could probably say, hey, I had success with this website. You know, somebody's online and somebody can help you while you're working. That's just my pitch for the WhatsApp group. So yeah, do that this week. See what you can find out. And if you got 20 venues to hit in an area, let's see, a radius of, you know, a couple 100 miles around one of your target markets, then see what you can do there. Tell them you're looking to tour in the next couple of years. Would they have any interest? And that's just a starting point because they're going to have to hear your name at least 11 times before they even recognize it, and that's just the way it is. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. You got family there, and is there anything else I can say for you? We'll wrap it up.
No, nothing really. Thank you so much for creating this group. This is awesome.
I'm so glad you think it's awesome, and thank you so much for participating because I know I've got some lurkers out there, and I love the lurkers, and I love that they do add energy to the group even though they don't say much or do anything. But I really love that you're not afraid to share the feedback and your good news. It really helps me keep going, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, this is Andrea Porter and Boss Giovanni signing off with the Entertainment Entrepreneurs Group, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.